Parker's Kitchen is my new daily coffee stop.
Gourmet beans are freshly ground for every cup. Get your own cup of great tasting, freshly brewed coffee at Parker's Kitchen.
Live from Augusta, breaking news.
Continuing to follow some breaking news this morning, a driver is dead from a chase with law enforcement in Augusta.
The Richmond County coroner says that he was called to the crash on Bobby Jones Expressway shortly before midnight.
Richmond County deputies say the crash happened on Bobby Jones Expressway between Mike Paget Highway and Doug Bernard Parkway. They say the driver lost control of the car while being chased as they crashed into the guardrail.
Now, officials say the driver was pronounced dead at the scene at 11:45. The identity of the driver will be released once family is notified, and we're working to learn more about the circumstances surrounding this case.
All right, storms from yesterday.
All right, thanks for that, Tim. Tournament week is nearly here, but the city of Aiken has been preparing for months. They want to make sure their city is just as prepared as Augusta. Your Taylor Martin is live in downtown Aiken this morning with what the city's going to have to offer. Taylor?
Well, Nick and Ashley, visitors can expect live music, art, food, and much more as they roll into Aiken during Golf Week. Now, it's just a small portion of what Aiken has to offer visitors. Leaders say the city starts prepping in December for what they call one of their busiest weeks of the year. With plenty of events, food, and shopping opportunities, the city's tourism manager says their hope is to make everyone feel invited to Aiken. And he says everything fills up in the city as people roll in, especially here downtown.
So we get a huge influx of hotel stays, people coming for restaurants, people who want to see something different, like if they're here for the Masters and they're maybe going to, they have someone, like only one person's going to the Masters and there's a few other people, they may want to explore the area.
And there's a lot going on next week here in Aiken. There's the Hopelands Gardens concert series as well as the Aiken Art Walk. So if you'd like to see a list of what's happening next week here in Aiken, you can visit our website, wrdw.com.
Yeah, of course, a lot going on here in Augusta, but there is plenty to do across the river as well there at Aiken. Taylor Martin live for us downtown this morning. Thanks, Taylor.
Augusta preparing for everyone making their way to our area. Augusta Regional Airport says that Delta and American Airlines are offering more direct flights to and from Augusta. So it's going to help patrons get here and you where you want to go if you plan on leaving the area for a vacation. Now, we've got a list of airports right here on your screen, organized by airline. We know that both will offer flights to and from New York, LaGuardia, Washington, Reagan, Boston, and Austin. To book a flight, do make sure that you visit flyags.com. Managing cars on the roads is the other part of prepping for the tournament week. The city has the traffic plan set now, so patrons make it to Augusta National and you can plan your route. The main thing you need to remember is the morning routine. You need to remember that the northbound off-ramp at Washington Road closes at 7 a.m. Authorities are going to direct patrons to Riverwatch Parkway so they can turn right onto Alexander Drive and then head straight to the course. The city has an idea for the end of the day as well, and to see that plan for yourself, head to our website, wrdw.com, search traffic plan.
After yesterday's first alert weather day, we did get some reports of damage from around the region. What you're seeing now is from Skyview Drive in Richmond County, where power lines went down. Crews told our team they believe lightning struck those lines. We also heard about wind damage from the storms that knocked down trees in Barnwell, McDuffie, and Washington counties.
And with those storms yesterday, many people in the CSRA are still working to recover from Helene. Between a hurricane, snowstorms, and thunderstorms, many homes still aren't livable. And as people are trying to get repairs done, they're waiting for a break in the severe weather. So hopefully from here on out, they'll get a little bit of one. But every time another threat rolls in, they're holding their breath.
No, nobody that I've heard is like, nobody's panicking, but I think everybody's just a little bit on edge and kind of sitting with their fingers crossed that this storm will pass and everything will still be okay.
With the tournament week coming up, some are still able to rent their homes, but they say that these storms have definitely changed Augusta's landscape.
The Table Rock Complex fire has now crossed into a third county. The wildfire was already burning in Pickens and Greenville counties, and it's now in Transylvania County in North Carolina. The Table Rock fire has burned more than 13,000 acres and is 30% contained, and the Persimmon Ridge fire is now more than 2,000 acres and 64% contained. Right now, nearly 550 firefighters are fighting those blazes.
Time now, 6:06. 2 people in Ward, South Carolina are dead after a shooting. Saluda County deputies responded to Valley Protein and Darling Ingredients, where they found a man and women both dead.
The company confirmed both victims were employed at the plant. The Saluda County Sheriff's Office is working with SLED on the investigation, and they say as of now, there's no threat to the public, and this was an isolated incident. So we are working to learn more, and we'll keep you updated.
An Augusta man is facing charges after allegedly raping a teen. 20-year-old Javarius Wynn was arrested Sunday. Arrest warrants show that he engaged in sexual acts with a 15-year-old victim back in January of 2023. Wynn is charged with statutory rape and aggravated child molestation. He is being held without bond.
East Pine Log Road will remain closed for another day. Paving on the road was scheduled to end yesterday, but the rain across the area delayed that project. So it's going to reopen at 6 o'clock tomorrow morning.
A new pop-up produce stand is working to help give Orangeburg students healthy options for eating and support farmers. The Change SC pop-up farm stand will set up every Monday from 1 to 7 p.m. Orangeburg superintendent says that being in rural areas make it tougher to get access to those fresh produce.
So a lack of healthy foods? I'll tell you, when you live in rural communities, you have to travel a little further. If I have to travel further, maybe I don't have time. So sometimes I stop and I get an alternate that may not be as healthy. So this helps, I guess, close that gap.
The stand will give a free pint of strawberries and some local honey for kids to take home. After the kids come through, the pop-up is going to remain open for the community to shop. Officials say that this program will also help expose kids to food that they wouldn't otherwise get.
Food recalls from bacterial contamination are at a 5-year high. Last year, 157 foods were recalled, mainly due to salmonella or listeria. So far this year, there have been 40 food recalls. But experts say that doesn't mean food is getting less safe. Instead, regulators are testing more since the COVID-19 pandemic. The CDC usually does anywhere from 17 to 36 investigations in multiple states each week.
Augusta University's Bell Tower Foundation announcing 8 winners of $1,000 grants. The cash will fund a variety of efforts, including screenings at free and low-cost clinics for men, women, and children, hands-on STEM projects for local elementary school students, art therapy for patients at the Children's Hospital of Georgia, and a support group for graduate students who are experiencing grief.
And we're so excited. This is our first year. We had the inaugural Augusta Impact Grant, so we were able to fund $8,000 worth of community projects.
The Bell Tower Foundation is a student-run organization at AU looking to strengthen the sense of community here in Augusta.
Still ahead with the end of the legislative session getting closer in Georgia, bills in the Georgia State House are being pushed through. We're going to show you what's getting closer to the governor's desk coming up.
All right, morning commutes, feeling comfortable here. Traffic flow picking up just a little bit, not tied up much there from Grovetown. We're talking rest of the week looking fairly dry and a big warming trend coming our way. That's next.
And as we head to break, giving you a live look right now at Grovetown. We're coming up on 610.
I'm Austin Jackson, the Augusta guy. And my team is proud to be the official injury lawyers of the Augusta Green Jackets. Just like we're all in for the Green Jackets, we give 100% for you after a car crash or other serious injury, and we don't stop working until we bring home the W. The Augusta Guy, supporting Augusta's team and all those who call the CSRA home. Car crash? Call Austin Jackson. The official injury lawyers of the Augusta Green Jackets. 706-724-7224.
Stop whitening your...
Yesterday was a busy one at the Georgia State Capitol as bills were put on the fast track to the governor's desk before the end of the legislative session.
Your Georgia State House reporter Abby Casores explains.
Right off the bat, looking over the agenda, 2 bills caught our eye. Priority bills for the heads of both of the chambers. Fast votes and quick transmittals signaling we're nearing the end of session. And there concerns about what can get over at the finish line.
All in favor of the passage of the bill will vote yes.
Facing a vote, a highly controversial bill banning trans women from competing in girls' sports from kindergarten to college. Republican Representative Josh Bonner shared a story about a fight at his daughter's school.
That boy pretending to be a girl jumped my daughter's friend, put her on the ground, and beat her. It took 4 individuals to pull this boy off of my daughter's friend as he pounded her head. So don't tell me there is no advantage.
While Democrat after Democrat took to the well in opposition to the bill, Georgia Equality Director Jeff Graham watched as lawmakers voted to support the measure and immediately transmitted to the Senate. He says this bill is just a diversion from real issues.
When we could be talking about jobs, the economy, guaranteed access to health care, affordable housing, these are a lot of issues that got shoved to the side during this legislative session so that we could focus on who gets to play in sports.
Passage a priority for Lieutenant Governor Burt Jones, who was leading a vote across the hall on the House Speaker's priority bill, the last of his school safety priorities, following the shooting at Appalachian High School.
I would ask you to please join with me and let's honor the deceased.
State Senator Bill Cowser seen tearing up in the well.
Senators ask for a moment of silence. Christian Angulo, Mason Skirmerhorn, Christine Irame, and Richard Aspinwall.
After privacy concerns from parents, Cowser changed the language of the bill. He says the bill no longer creates a statewide database under GMA to track concerning students who may move schools. Members of the Winder community left disappointed.
We really need this passed. If we haven't had this, a couple years ago, this could have been prevented.
Lawmakers with their backs against the wall. Friday is the critical sine-die deadline. In Atlanta, I'm Abby Thesaurus.
Gold prices continue to rise, and more Americans schedule time for them to worry about things in their life. We're going to have that and more coming up in your morning business report. And as we head to break, giving you a live look right now at I-20 at 619.
Injured and thinking of? Trust meteorologist Tim Strong for your first alert.
Eyes forward. Don't drive distracted.
Live from Augusta. Breaking news.
Good morning. If you're just joining us today, we are continuing to follow some breaking news. A driver is dead from a chase with law enforcement in Augusta.
The Richmond County coroner says that he was called to the crash on Bobby Jones Expressway before midnight. Richmond County deputies said that the vehicle crashed on Bobby Jones Expressway between Mike Pageant Highway and Doug Bernard Parkway. They say the driver lost control of the car while being chased and crashed into a guardrail. Officials say that the driver was pronounced dead at the scene at 11:45.
The identity of the driver will be released once their family's been notified. We're working to learn more about the circumstances of that incident.
All right, sending it over to Tim now with a look at our forecast as we head out the door. Nothing like yesterday.
Now, no anticipation of threat of severe weather. Got good rain. We did have some issues with severe storms. The front's moving. A little bit of a taste of summer coming in Thursday and Friday, which we'll get to in the full forecast in just a little bit. Roll it up on 632.
Thanks, Tim. Tournament week is the busiest time of year in Augusta, but its reach extends past city limits.
And Aiken city leaders say with the amount of golf patrons they see, their preps start as early as December. Your Taylor Martin is live in downtown Aiken this morning with more on what the city is doing to make sure that it is tournament ready. So what do they have going on, Taylor?
Well, actually, Nick, they're offering a lot for visitors who come to Aiken during golf week next week. Now, the city of Aiken says it's their busiest week of the year. And from the Aiken Art Walk to museums and live music, the city's tourism manager says their hope is to make everyone feel invited to Aiken. One business we spoke to says they've already started prepping for the crowds.
We stay open late each night. We're certainly going to be open during Art Walk and things like that. So we're really looking forward to meeting everybody and welcoming everybody.
Now, of course, next week, as she said, there's the Aiken Art Walk going on, and then the Hopelands Gardens concert series is back here in Aiken. So much for visitors to do as they visit the area next week during golf week. And if you want to see more events happening, we have a link on our website, Wrdw.com.
Yeah, there are a lot of events going on here in Augusta and over there in Aiken. Thanks for that, Taylor, reporting live for us this morning.
Let's talk about some of those events happening in Augusta, shall we? Just days away here from Tournament Week. The Women's Amateur starting up tomorrow. The City of Augusta getting ready for that, holding events this week leading up to Tournament Week. First up, this Thursday, the Sandhills Neighborhood Association is unveiling a sculpture honoring past Black Masters champion tournament caddies. The ceremony will start at 3 o'clock at the Sandhills Community Center grounds and include Michael Ben Bussey, who is the last living pre-1983 champion caddy. Then Saturday, fan favorite here, Augusta Mayor Garnett Johnson holding the Mayor's Masters reception at the Common. This year, the event will honor Jim Nance for his work as a sports commentator. There will be live entertainment by local artists Tara and the Snacks, Jonathan Wilson, and more. And to celebrate Tournament Week, there will be a fireworks show too. That is this Saturday, starting at 5, again at the Augusta Common. And the Wrdw concert is 1 week from today. This year, the concert will feature Brett Young, Russell Dickerson, Channing Wilson, the Mason Jars, and DJ Rock. It's happening at the Lady A Pavilion in Evans Town Center Park. You can find more information on tickets on our website, Wrdw.com. Just search Wrdw. They're $40 right now, and they'll be $50 day of. All proceeds benefit First Tee of Augusta.
Time now, 6:35. We are learning new information in the case of an Augusta father charged after his son's death. 25-year-old Amari Sturgis was arrested last week for an incident that happened back in November. Deputies were called to a home on Margaret Court for an unresponsive 1-year-old. He told deputies that he and the child fell asleep on the couch, and when he woke up, he found his child stiff and not breathing.
New arrest warrants tell us the 1-year-old child was exposed to a deadly amount of fentanyl and a horse tranquilizer called xylazine.
Those warrants state that the child's cause of death was an overdose. Sturgis is now charged with cruelty to children in the 2nd degree. He's currently in jail this morning.
This combination of drugs is something law enforcement says they're already aware of. 2 years ago, the U.S. had named xylazine, also called tranq, an emerging threat, especially here in the South, where the equestrian hobby thrives. The use of tranq can lead to withdrawals stronger than heroin or meth. And possibly most dangerous of all, the effects cannot be reversed with Narcan because it's not an opioid.
2 Edgefield County men are facing child sex crimes in separate incidents. We've got 24-year-old Richard Stevens Jr. on the left side of your screen there, 39-year-old Brandon Brown on the right. Edgefield County deputies say that Stevens had 2 phones with more than 100 uploads of child sexual abuse material. Authorities say that they also found child sex abuse material of a 4-year-old in Brown's phone. Both Stevens and Brown face charges of sexual exploitation of a minor.
Still ahead, South Carolina lawmakers believe it's time they do something to stop the sharing of sensitive images of people without consent. We're going to show you what they're doing after the break.
All right, getting a peek out at morning traffic. Starting to pick up a little bit more. Visibility's great. We're going to look at a nice warming trend through the rest of the week. See if there's any rain coming our way for the rest of the week as well. That's all next.
And as we head to break, taking you outside right now, giving you a live look at Calhoun Expressway at 6:36.
Getting hurt at work